Hey, you want to hear something cool? Hear the thing. In 1800, Johnstown, Pennsylvania was officially founded. By the 1830s, they built an earthen dam at the top of the valley to control the flow of the water of the river so that they could expand the town and other towns could form below it. This earthen dam was 3 feet thick, 75 feet tall. An earthen dam is basically a large brick wall that is surrounded by and packed in by earth, dirt on either side. This earthen dam was meant to handle 10 feet of water at the top. Years later, Carnegie Steel and Railroad bought the property. They allowed the water to build up and create something on the other side of the dam called Lake Conemaugh. Lake Conemaugh was approximately 450 deep at its deepest location, 60 feet deep at the dam. It was 2 miles long and 1 mile wide. They allowed Lake Conemaugh to build up like that because they had a stake in something called the South Fork Fishing and Hunting Club, which prospered greatly. Many of the rich and famous went to this South Fork Fishing and Hunting Club and would rent boats, go fishing, go hunting for the day, hang out in the cabins, and they had a beautiful lake to swim in. Around this time, they also built railroad tracks right over that earthen dam. Dam repairs were made over the years as the railroad carrying heavy loads would run over it. The repairs were made with various bits of dirt, straw, even manure. On May 28th, 1889, there was a lot of rain in this area. That valley was very winding at this point, and the tiny river that they had gave water to about 7 or 8 towns, not just Johnstown. Later that night, the earthen dam would break. It released a wall of water that was approximately 50 feet tall that careened down the valley. As it came around various corners of the valley, there was a stone bridge further down the valley which had railroad tracks on it as well. There was a train crossing it at that time that was carrying numerous loads of oil, and those oil cars overturned. There were sparks. The oil caught fire, causing the entire stone dam to be ablaze. As this wall of water came down, it knocked many of the houses off of their foundations. Those inside were lucky if they were able to climb up onto the roofs and virtually surf their houses down the rest of the valley. The hills turned black with thousands of people running away from this water, running up into the hills, out of the valley. But that wasn't the worst of it. Those who were stuck on their roofs, flowing down that river, when they came around that corner and saw that stone bridge, they had a choice to make. They could either ride out on top of what used to be their homes, smashing into the bridge, burning to death, or they could jump into the river, with all the debris swirling around, including bits of their home, drowning or being killed immediately there. How would you prefer to die? Thousands smashed into that stone wall of fire, burned to death right there, screaming out for anyone to help, and all those on the hills said for many years after that they had nightmares, never slept well again. This was one of the biggest disasters in the 1800s in the United States. Approximately 2,209 lives were lost that day. Approximately $17 million in property damage was done. This was very prolific in the way that it affected the American society because this changed a lot of the way that we approached law. turned it to a liability-based law instead. This has been the story of the Johnstown Flood. I'm Brian P. Gallagher. Join me next time on Hear the Thing. Hey, you want to hear something cool?